Well, hi, Anna.
Hello.
Great that you could spare a bit of time today to have a chat with us.
No
So, what we're trying to do with the just interviews, trying to get a bit of a sense of what it's like, life as a small business owner, sort of things that you've come across, some of the challenges, just really sharing a few ideas and insights.
Yeah,
So, I
sure.
just got a few sort of questions for us, but obviously it's good to kick off by just saying, can you introduce what your business is and what do you do?
Yeah, sure. My name's Anna Londei, and that's the name of my business. And I'm a customised clothing designer. So I sort of take a very plain item and I'll embellish it and make it something special and unique. So customers come to me with an idea they've had in their head, they can't get on the high street. So it could be something simple like their name, but they want it done in sequins or something glittery, and that's where I come into play.
Right, and how do people find you?
Mostly it is word of mouth, I have to say. So people will, wearing my stuff, oh wow, where did you get that from? And it is that kind of eye-catching, oh, I haven't seen that before, and that's it sort of creates intrigue and mystery, I suppose. Right. Otherwise, Facebook, Instagram, I'm just trying to sort of get more into Instagram now because it's very useful for creative businesses.
Yeah, and so I mean, I guess it's I think obviously word of mouth is great, but obviously that probably also just doesn't necessarily happen by itself, isn't it? You've got to be active.
Yeah.
And you say you're doing the sort of social media side of it.
That is. I find that challenging because I enjoy doing it, but it's the consistency of it. You have to dedicate a lot of time to it. Quite a lot of time a day really, because it's all based on engagement. So it's not just posting nice photos. You have to be engaging the customers because that's obviously what Instagram and Facebook like. So I'm trying to learn about that now to sort of help my business a bit more.
And so is have you found then that you actually have to now specifically carve out certain amounts of time?
Yes.
A day?
I do. Yeah, I do. And that's the other challenge I find in my business is the planning side, really, because being creative, you just want to make and make and make, but there's the other parts of the business that make it all work together, and you have to learn to dedicate periods of time to that, because otherwise it just doesn't all work together. You're just making and not getting anywhere, really.
Right. And how long have you been in business?
Well, I actually started sort of 2002. I came out of university, managed to luckily get some work experience with Topshop, and that led to selling in Topshop my customised clothing range. And then I took some time off to have children, and a bit longer than I wanted, should we say. But once the youngest started school, I just had to do something. And I just literally was sort of making things, and I posted it on Facebook one night, and people were like, I didn't know you did that. They had no idea. And I had to set up a Facebook group or a page overnight, and it just started from there. So that's coming up to, I think, 5 years maybe now.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I've been busy since then.
Well, that's great. And so, do you think it's actually now? I mean, even really compared to 5 years ago, is it any different starting up a business? Do you think is it any easier or harder now than it was even back then?
I think. Back then I was winging it, basically. I had no idea. I just really had no idea. And I think there's more out there now. There's more business coaches. There's more and I think the pandemic has helped with that. There's loads out there now for people wanting to start up business. So now probably is an ideal time to, if you've been thinking about it, to start up, because there's so much material out there to sort of help you get going, really. It's just making that leap, that decision, really.
Yeah. And obviously, you do invest time, like you say, not only in the production and the making, but also the marketing side. But also, you sort of mentioned there really about investing in learning more about business itself.
Definitely, and this is where Bizmosis has been fantastic for me, because I dedicate my Friday morning to not just myself to learning, but to the business as well. So and the different variety of topics have just been really, really helpful. I think when I joined, I didn't have a clue, to be honest. I just sort of thought, oh, that's how you do things. But it has helped me in ways that I didn't really realise it would. So.
And do you think that's something that probably many businesses don't realise is the fact that there are so many other things you have to do to grow.
I think, I mean, you think of the big companies and they can hire people to do all of that. It's, it's much easier. But when you're on your own, there is no one to do that. You do have to learn. There's no choice in the matter. You have to learn those things if you want to be successful. So if it doesn't naturally come to you, like there's so many things that don't naturally come to me, I do need help and I do need to learn. And once you do it regularly, you can learn anything. I truly believe that. So
and where you are now, do you have you is the business sort of going okay, or do you feel like you want to really grow it? I do want to grow it. I do. I'm always wanting to change things, and that's the problem. It's sort of looking at the business and what's working at the moment, maybe what's not, but not wanting to change everything completely, because it is always evolving, and it should. That's what businesses should. But yeah, I definitely do want to grow it, and I'm looking forward to next year, because it's been a strange couple of years, let's be honest. So I've got lots of goals set for next year. Right, and with those goals are what do you see as probably some of the biggest challenges you think you're going to face in terms of trying to reach some of those goals?
I think it is just a consistency of getting out there each day and just sort of going at it, because there's days where you don't feel that you're achieving much. But if you just keep on going, you will get somewhere. You will get somewhere. One day you may get 20 followers, another day you might not get any. But if you're consistently growing your followers, engaging with them, creating that sort of relationship with your customers, they're going to thank you for that by buying buying what you do.
Now you've obviously got a great sort of studio space here, in your garden, working from home, and how do you find that, working as an individual, sort of from home? Do you find it difficult, sort of sometimes, motivating yourself?
Yes, I get easily distracted. That is one of my problems. So focusing is, I can make something for hours and hours on end, but when I'm enjoying it too much, it's kind of moving on to the next task. So I'm sort of learning lots of tools that help me move forwards, but distraction is a problem for me, but I've recognised it, and I know that's what I've got to sort of work on, really. But yeah, I think the good thing is to sort of set it up like a work day, because you are working from home, but there's so much. This is why I like being down here, because I'm not necessarily distracted by what's going on in the house, but treating it more like a proper work day, because it is work. We're lucky enough to work for ourselves and to work from home, but it is work still. So it's been more disciplined.
Yeah, and so if you're because obviously always interested in what bits of advice people might have, for. If you were talking to someone, a friend or acquaintance, and they say, they're thinking about starting a business. Yeah. What sort of initial thoughts do you have, or bits of advice you'd look to sort of? Well,
I'd say depending what it is, just do your research. See what's out there already. Do you fit into that market? Can you offer something different? Who are your competitors? Or is there anyone local to you that might be doing the same thing? But get inspired, get motivated, get sort of know what's out there. Work out your pricings and set definitely at least 3-month goals of what you want to achieve. And of course, do some learning with osmosis.
Yeah, well, that's so obviously what we're trying to do, is trying to make sure that provide some regular input to keep people interested, engaged,
definitely,
inspired, and I think that's the thing, is that I find with all businesses there's so many opportunities to learn from different business owners.
Absolutely.
They may not be experts, but just they've got practical experience, they've lived through things.
Yeah. And what's great is you don't bore your friends with it. We can bore each other because we know exactly what we're going through and the challenges we face, whereas friends with their 9-to-5 jobs, they don't get it really, do they?
No.
So, that's what I love about the community, that we can share ideas, but we just get each other, really, don't we?
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, lovely. Well, thanks very much for taking the time for a chat, and obviously wishing you every success in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Bye.